America's team. And nah, I ain't talking about the Cowboys. I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns, blue collar nation. Where you at? All right, let's get started on what the Cleveland Browns did in 2020. So they were 16th in offense, 24th in the pass, 3rd against the rush, and you know that's their calling card. That's what the Browns want to do. They run the football. Defense, they were 17th, mediocre in defense. They were 22nd in the pass, 9th against the rush. I think part of the reason why they weren't as good against the pass as they were before, and just in general, is their defense was all jacked up, especially in the secondary. You had basically off the street corners playing for the Cleveland Browns because both your starting young cornerbacks were injured, your safeties got injured, everyone's injured for this team. So they're going to be better as long as they get healthy. The GM for your Cleveland Browns is Andrew Berry. He's a Moneyball guy. He's super young, super smart guy. He turned his team around in the 2 years he's been there. Kevin Stefanski, he is your offensive head coach. He's basically offensive coordinator too. Alex Van Pelt has that name and role only. He's mainly the quarterbacks coach, but Kevin Stefanski is the person who's pretty much doing everything on the offensive side of the ball, and he's done a fantastic job molding this team, minimizing Baker Mayfield's mistakes and just basically calming him down. If he could do that for OBJ as well, then this team is going to be just ridiculous. Defensive coordinator Joe Wood, he has a lot to prove, but again, he's going to have a healthy defense coming back. The cap space, the Browns have money to make moves, so they can sign a big free agent or two if they choose to, but it's kind of one of those things, if it's broke, don't fix it. Maybe sign some of your high profile players back that I'm going to get to in a second. Maybe that's what you need to do. As far as those high profile free agents, Larry Ogunjobi, he's one of those guys that I would like to have back if I were the Cleveland Browns. He might be a little bit too expensive, and it seems like they don't really want to have him back, but he's one of those big deal free agents. Olivier Vernon, Rashard Higgins, Adrian Claiborne, BJ Goodson. There's not a lot of good linebackers out there. Having Goodson come back would be a huge plus. It seemed like he wasn't the best linebacker, but playing good enough, and especially with the amount of linebackers you have, might as well just bring him back. He'll be a good stopgap. Maybe you can get someone in the draft, which I'm about to get to in a second, or you take your chances, you take a flyer on one of the guys that's out there. As far as what I would do in free agency if I'm trying to do Andrew Berry's job, which he's doing a fantastic job. I don't think I could do it better than him. This team is loaded and they have a bunch of cap space, which is just phenomenal, especially this year in the NFL. So make a big splash. Maybe you sign a Bud Dupree, and then you have Bud Dupree and you have Myles Garrett as bookend rushers. This is the best pass rush combination the Cleveland Browns probably have ever had. If I could get Bud Dupree, hopefully his knee isn't just like FUBAR beyond all recognition. If you can make that happen, try to make that happen. Sign him for a nice long deal that gives him some pretty good guaranteed money that like you can take a flyer on 1 or 2 years. If you want to go a cheaper route, there's Justin Houston, who will probably come at like a veteran, like medium-sized contract. So, or Marcus Golden, he's a guy who wants to prove himself. You put him against with Myles Garrett, that tandem will just be amazing. As far as middle linebackers go, maybe you can get Damian Williams. There's Josh Bynes from the Bengals. If you want to go in a different route other than signing BJ Goodson, you need some corners to fill that role of just backup substitute corner. You're losing all the corners that played last year because they were stopgaps, and now they're gone. So now you need to get some more stopgaps, because if one of these guys goes down, if Denzel Ward goes down again, if Greedy Williams can't get back on the field or just turns out to be a bust, you're going to need some kind of replacement. There's receiver. If I think OBJ is coming back, but you still need that number 3 receiver. I think Peoples-Jones has proven that he could be a good third option on that team, but who knows if they even keep OBJ. If you don't, Cam Sims I think would be an amazing fit. He's a good pure slot corner. He's one of those guys that's not really a possession guy. He's going to run those short routes and he's going to get yards after the catch, and the Browns need a lot of that. And if you don't have OBJ back, then he will be a good replacement for that. As far as the draft is concerned for the Browns, I would get Asante Samuel Jr. He's the smallest guy, but his dad wasn't that big either. But he played tough and he played smart. Asante Samuel Jr. went to Florida State, so no one's thinking about the Seminoles anymore, and they have a lot of talent on that team that was kind of a bust. And I think these guys will be a lot better on teams that are doing well. So if you get some of these guys like Asante Samuel and put him on a Browns team that's already really good, that's already got a lot of talent, this guy can be a ball hawk and he can be amazing. You can get Justin Hilliard just right down the way at Ohio State. Seth Williams. If you don't want to get a wide receiver in free agency, you can get Seth Williams right here. There's a lot of options here for the Browns, and the Browns have the talent to take over the AFC North. They are that good. So if this coaching can continue to do what they're doing, if Baker Mayfield can continue to not only minimize the bad plays, which he did an amazing job in the second half of the season, but if he can start maximizing the good plays, then this team is going to be just a lot of fun to watch, and they're going to prove that they are America's team, because the Browns are just that. Anyway, thanks for watching, cramming through all these. I'll catch you guys on the flip later.